Just before airtime, I spoke with California Democratic Congressman Ted Lieu, who took part in today's Judiciary hearing. Congressman Lieu, what do you think your Republican colleagues were trying to accomplish with this hearing?
John, they were trying to distract from what Democrats are trying to do, which is to help the American people lower everyday costs, such as drug costs and costs of insulin. Republicans don't have a plan, and they can't even fund government right now, so they're doing these hearings where they're asking nonsensical questions of Attorney General Garland, and that's what we saw today. We saw a circus because Republicans can't move forward in governing.
I want to play what was part of the House Judiciary Chair's Jim Jordan's his opening statement. Listen.
The fix is in. Even with the face-saving indictment last week of Hunter Biden, everyone knows the fix is in. There's one investigation protecting President Biden. There's another one attacking President Trump. Justice Department's got both sides of the equation covered.
What's your reaction to that?
That is absolutely false. Attorney General Garland was very clear. The law applies equally to everyone, regardless of your party or whether you're rich or poor or whatever race you are. The law applies equally in America. And I note that Hunter Biden has been indicted twice.
Congressman, in a CNN poll, a majority of Americans say they think that President Biden had at least some involvement in Hunter Biden's business dealings. Other polls say that nearly 2/3 of Americans believe that Hunter Biden definitely or probably did something illegal. What, if any, questions do you think are appropriate to ask about the Hunter Biden investigation in an oversight hearing?
The Department of Justice has the facts. They've indicted Hunter Biden in its ongoing investigation. It is completely inappropriate for members of Congress to interfere in ongoing investigations. And we'll know soon enough in a court of law what the facts are, and a jury will decide whether or not Hunter Biden gets convicted. That is a process. That's how the criminal justice system works in America. We don't have political interference from members of Congress.
The Attorney General pushed back hard on allegations of political bias. Do you think he pushed hard enough? What did you make of his response?
I thought Attorney General Garland was terrific at the hearing. He was honest. He was straightforward. He tried to answer the questions, and he repeatedly said the law applies equally to everyone. He gave full discretion to U.S. Attorney Weiss for charging decisions with respect to Hunter Biden. And Attorney General Garland said that he did not interfere in that case and will not interfere in that case.
Do you support appointing David Weiss as special counsel?
Okay. I do, and I note that David Weiss was first appointed by Donald Trump.
Congressman Ted Lieu, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.